Ryan, is it bad to be sick of humanity? The hologram was nothing more than a machine, and yet it was more human and caring than most people she'd met on a daily basis. He anticipated her needs, knew when to make himself scarce, knew her likes and dislikes. It was like being in a relationship, except she got taken care of without needing to take care of him in return. First time in her life that happened. It was nice. No, he replied, appearing in the room. Tori took up her glass and toasted him. It warmed her up until her cheeks heated and her eyelids felt heavy. How much had she drunk already? 2 glasses? Half a bottle? Tomorrow was her day off anyway. She could afford to get a little drunk. Already she was tipsy enough to think nothing of talking to a machine as if he were real. Looked real enough. Tori frowned. It's just... people suck. I mean, they really, really suck. It's all lies and scams to get what they want. She gestured with her glass, sloshing wine. Money, sex, well, mostly just those two. She smiled bitterly. It's the loneliest thing in the world, to be surrounded by people who smile at you, compliment you, bring you coffee, and to know it's all a lie. Can't trust them. Not a single one. Know why? 'Cause the second you turn your back, they'll stick a knife into it. Ryan said nothing, and suddenly she felt exposed, and more than a little foolish. Tori drew her knees up and set the empty glass on the floor. It's pathetic, really. All this money and success, and the only person I can talk to isn't even real. Ryan flickered and disappeared. Her heart leapt up into her throat. Ryan? He reappeared, different, and to her alcohol-hazed mind, he looked so solid it hurt. He was sitting in the armchair, knees splayed and elbows braced on them, leaning forward like he was listening to her. His eyes were looking at her, and even though she could see through him to the fire behind the holographic projection, she choked up a little, wishing he were a physical person. She blew out a tense breath, a little embarrassed. Not that he would care. You know, my last boyfriend was a lawyer, she heard herself say. Where the hell it came from, she had no idea. And now that she'd said it, the words just kept on coming. He took me out to dinner every night, called me at least twice a day. So considerate. So what if all we ever talked about was work? Didn't think anything of it. He had this huge case he was working on. He told me all about it, even asked my opinion sometimes. I was actually flattered. Victoria scoffed. She'd been such an idiot. Turns out he was just using me to win his case. And once he did, he suddenly became too busy to call anymore. We had 2 more dates. He showed up an hour late and rushed through so he could kiss me goodnight and disappear. She leaned forward, nearly falling off the settee. If you learn nothing else from me, just remember this one thing. Never date a lawyer. Input saved to memory, Ryan said, and for some reason she found it hysterical. She laughed until her eyes teared up. And when was the last time she had done that? It wouldn't be until the next morning when she woke up on the settee, her mouth parched and the empty wine bottle next to her, that she would note the dry humor in his tone and wonder if she'd been drunk enough to have imagined it.